Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketballhead Live. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This Basketballhead is the voice of NYC basketball, hands down. When it comes to Dyckman, his appearances at the Rucker, Hoops in the Sun, New York versus New Jersey one-on-one tournaments, Slam Magazine games, New York versus New York, and anything Nike. He is the go-to announcer. He brings excitement and electricity to each game. This Basketballhead has a staple of notable basketball quotables, such as, "It's always hands and feet," bag alert, or the famous line that I hear at every game I attend in New York City: "Give me 3." This Basketballhead has his own style because you never know what kind of costume he's going to come out to during the game. From Michael Jackson, what about his famous the Hulkamania fame? Or simply as Black Panther. We can go into all the styles that this guy has, but tell you one thing, he's always going to leave you entertained. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show the voice of NYC, David Teele, better known to the basketball world as Cha-Ching.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just now into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. East Coast, go hard. West Coast, go hard. Midwest, go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody, get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
Fine. I'm blessed to be here. What's up?
Good, man. Yo, I last show I had your guy Joe Cruz on. He said some good words about you, brother.
Here on the back screen right there.
Yeah. For sure. So, man, I want to jump right into this, man. Yo, Eric Weaver, what's up? My man guy Eric Weaver is always on the check-in. Who introduced you to the game?
Basketball, my pops.
Where was that at? Like, where was that's was it out in the park? Or did you watch a game with him? How did he introduce you?
Out in the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you play ball yourself?
I played high school, nothing crazy like travel or nothing like that.
Look, brother, I sometimes I think, we put too much on the traveler sense. Not too many guys get to play high school basketball or girls. Where did you play high school ball at?
I played at Humanities High School.
Nice. All 4 years? How did that start out?
Played 3. Freshman year I ain't play. I wasn't really hooping like that.
So
I played sophomore up.
Okay. And JV or varsity, what was that like?
Varsity. It's cool. We was in the B division. That's when the B division was real solid. And nice 3 year career. Nothing crazy, but
do a lot of
solid.
people know? Cha-Ching, listen, bro. Look, because I know you call all the top players. You trying to play yourself down like, it's okay. But you look, Malloy Naismith, who y'all know as Future, he played in the B division at Monroe when we was coming up, and I'm talking about he was killing. And then when he played with us at AAU, he was doing the same thing. So it's not, where you play.
Yeah. No. I ain't putting down on the level I played in, but I wasn't really. I didn't go into high school with the mindset like I'm gonna play ball. I just waited, like it just happened after ninth grade, so it's no big deal.
Listen, same for me, brother. I went to Lincoln to play football. Facts. And I made varsity my freshman year. Me and my coach talk to this day, and I still don't understand how.
Baffle, right? It happens. That's how
You know,
it happens sometimes. It just go with the flow. That's all.
right? And totally dropped football. I was done with that. But hey, listen, we here right now to this day, so it all worked out for a reason.
Definitely.
Where you from, Cha-Ching?
I'm from Harlem.
Okay, like what about areas like Spanish Harlem or Harlem?
Sugar Hill.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Up top for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
What players did you grow up idolizing?
Well, Ali Mo was from up there. Um, Malik was one of the ones from up there. It was a lot of community based, but Ali Mo probably the big name that was from up there.
Got you. Got you. And Malik, who we talking about? Last name.
Thomas.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And Ali Mo was the best player in the neighborhood at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Without not even close.
For sure. What are some of the things that you could tell us and the basketball community and the basketball world a little bit something about Ali Mo from the things that you remember?
Genuine. Day one, he very supportive. I did my first road event was with him and Future. A lot of people don't know that, but that was my first actual event on the road with Future and Ali Mo. So always a cherish that moment.
Where was that at?
We went to Ohio.
And you got the announcing gig. That was your first gig.
Yeah, that was my first road gig.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my first road gig. Yeah, Ali Mo was like, yo, somebody can't make it, and I mean, we need you to fill in. I had just came back from Ohio. Actually, that was. I just came back from that 10-hour ride. And he's like, yo, we going back tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow. So I just threw something in the bag and went back. I think that probably jump started like some of the stuff I'm doing now. That was the first one. It was Ali Mo, Future, White Chocolate. They had like their own little tour thing they was doing. It was dope to get on that.
Man, that's very impressive, man. What was your first gig and how did it go?
My first actual gig was Amsterdam Projects. Amsterdam Projects, high school division. I went down there to actually watch my peoples play, and my peoples was like, "Yo, nah, my man could do he good," and they was like, "Nah, we got somebody." Long story short, then they was like, "All right, we gonna give it to him. Dude ain't come yet." I'm like, "Yo, it's halftime. Homie ain't get yet," and then that was it after that. So I came back down there a few times, and then it just started building from there, though. But that was definitely my first tournament, my first actual stop, Amsterdam Project. That was probably one of the best. That was probably the only good high school tournament going on. Amsterdam Projects. It's next to I think John Jay.
Around what year was that?
What's this, 22? Like 14, 2014, wow. 2013, 2014.
Got you. So, when we talk about, guys like, Duke Tango, Al Cash, Booby Smooth, the Voice of Harlem, Hannibal and Gumby, what comes to your mind?
Those goats. They've been doing it a long time, man. They definitely top tier. Those are top tiers, but what's crazy, this just happened. I was never like, I'm gonna be an announcer, so this is like kind of like fun for me now. I didn't think I wasn't gonna be no announcer. That wasn't a part of my plans. But them guys is definitely the ones they put on. They've been doing it. I actually didn't hear Gumby. I wasn't old enough yet to hear him, but the other
Yeah, I heard
ones I
he was
definitely.
like the originator. I heard he was like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
originator
yeah,
of
yeah. I mean, a lot of the older guys go and say Gumby because he was probably the only one doing it at that time. But the other guys you named, they was definitely right there. Like I don't know Gumby resume, so I wouldn't say he one of those main guys. But the
Okay.
guys you named was definitely everybody had their own little following. So what made New York City basketball good. Through Tango, been on tour. You know, everybody built their brand the right way. So definitely got to salute to them guys.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my guy Tucson from All Ball. He did an episode and showing love to all you guys, man. And you know, he tapped in with me, and I let him know, man. Us guys in Brooklyn, we didn't have the announcer because that would have been a dangerous job during that time. You guys in Harlem, you know, we give you guys, you know, all the credit for that and making that
Yeah,
the
that was
thing to
dope. That
do.
was dope. That was dope for him to do that because normally people, we don't get the flowers for we probably got the hardest job besides the ref on
Facts.
on the court. We got to entertain. We got to keep people engaged. We gotta just we gotta do a lot. So, but it's always good to get some flowers every now and then, and it can always be good with some flowers.
Nah, definitely, man, definitely. I had Mike Lowry on and having you on, and I definitely reached out to Tango and Al Cash, and I'm going to be reaching out to the other guys as well to try to get them on because you guys are definitely part of the fabric of New York City.
Definitely, definitely.
For sure, for sure. That's definitely something that's on my to-do list. Now, you talked about your first game that you did an Amsterdam project. What made it so special? Like, did you get the bug after that first game?
Um, Not really, but um, the neighborhood, the parents will come down, the older ladies will come down, and I think that was probably like my staple for it. That was like my stamp. That was like my stamp. They gave me my stamp, so I think that was probably the best part about being down there. Actually, the older ladies come downstairs, they sit, they bring their beach chairs, and it felt like family. So that always to be always because the older ladies definitely showed a lot of love down there.
That's real. Listen, it's not like getting love from the community. Every chance I get, always thank New York City for showing their love. Because it feels good when your people love what you do and they respect what you do, man. So just keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Definitely,
Ain't
I
nothing left
appreciate
for
that.
here for you. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, once you started to get your feet wet, like when did you kind of fall in love with it? Like when we talk about the admiration from the community, but when did you start to fall in love with it? Say, you know what, I love what I do.
I think when I got the in between a local tournament in the Bronx, Watson Creston League is a local. It was a local league, and between that and Mouncey Tri-State, I think that's when I knew like, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah, I was with Mousy during the Nike tournament that they had in South Shore, and we were just sharing some jewels. He was dropping a lot of jewels on me just about the whole uptown scene. And I told him definitely gonna get him on the show, man. Definitely another staple in New York City basketball history, man. So
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
yeah,
He forever be legendary to me because I didn't really get my full crack at it until we started high school. So that's what made that relationship so what it is today. So I always gotta salute to him.
that's real. That's real. For sure. So, what steps did you make, right, into making your transition into being an announcer? Because I know, let me tell you, brother, We got the Brevoort League going. We had our first year. Thanks to incredible team that I work with, but that's not an easy job.
Nah, definitely. I said it. That's probably the hardest job outside of referee.
Brother, guys want to hand me the mic and be like, yo, Pooh, since you got the show, you behind the mic here. And because our announcer at the time that we was trying out, he just he was incapable of doing that at a certain time. And boy, so much respect I give to you guys because it is not easy. You could know the game, you could know the players' names, but that game is moving so fast, and you got to keep up.
It's all about rhythm too. It got to be a rhythm. Everything's a rhythm. Even with Do Tango, they had a rhythm. And you going with your rhythm is like the best part of. You got to have a flow. You got to have a rhythm. That's the only way that's gonna work. It's the only way that's gonna work.
And I think with us, as being melanated people, rhythm is everything. I even go back to the old Nike shoe when they had the basketball with Future and all of New York, right? The rhythm of the ball and how they made that into a beat just through the basketball, right? So rhythm is everything, man.
Rhythm, definitely. It's all. I think for me, I think that's what it was. It was rhythm and timing.
Got you. So, like I told you, my guy Tucson from All Ball Park podcast, he said he remember you when you first started, and how you the definition of getting it out the mud from the bottom to the top, being the top announcer in the game. When did you feel was your breakout game, like that moment that you said, that everybody said, Cha-Ching is the guy in your eyes?
I had some cracks at Unlimited. It was brief, a few minutes, but I think my first year with high school division at Tri-State, we put a high school league inside the Tri-State tournament, and it was under we was under a lot of different brands. We was under Ron Artest brand one time, but it didn't really stop. It didn't really stop the grind and building that high school division. So I think it was probably the first year I started high school.
Got you. What is this so special about the high school division? Because here in the Brevoort Coliseum, that's all we do. That's where we stop at high school. And we noticed everybody doing Unlimited, but we wanted to give high schoolers the chance to play under the lights, right? Because they don't really get a chance to play under the lights all the time. Maybe once in the blue, and that's kind of reserved for the Pro-Am division. What is so special about the high school kids that come out to perform every night?
For me, you don't know who's going to be on today. With a pro, college pro, you already know the guys. But high school, you never know, and that's why I fell in love with high school, because I was giving everybody an opportunity. Like, I had events, we had guys from Spelman play. Like, we was giving a lot of dudes the stage. It wasn't about more so name. So it was more about giving somebody the stage, a kid that play in the B division, a kid that play in the lower level schools. We was giving shots to play in some of these big events, and it happened to turn out good for me and the brands I was working with at the time. So I always gonna say high school. High school definitely gonna be forever for me.
Got you. Well, listen, one thing I definitely want to ask you, I'm gonna ask you right here, right now, that we're searching, right, for we have a mic guy, but I know as the staff we're probably looking for someone solid. And do you do like training for to be an announcer, like for young guys who want to come and do this?
Actually I don't, but anybody that ever hit me and asked for advice, it's the blueprint is just be you, be original, be you. It might, any park anywhere needs a voice. It don't matter how great they are or how less attractive they are. Any park needs, especially in New York City, you cannot have an event without a DJ, without an announcer. That's probably got to be the first bookings you do. Before you probably got to have that before you have refs, because you're going to need somebody to keep people engaged. People get real bored fast. So anytime somebody people hit me all the time on Instagram with how you do it, and all I'll do is say, be yourself and stay true to yourself and be original.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Dayweather. He was the announcer that we originally chose, and we told him if he does the studying that he needs to do, and just research, he can be the guy, because it's definitely entertaining, and that's something that we want to grow to. Because our championship game, we actually had Ross Slime come down and
That's
do
the
the
guy.
game.
That's my
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that's my guy. Oh, I had him on as well. I had him on the show
That's
as
my
well.
guy. That's my guy. He doing it the right way. Like I said, he got his own style, his own flavor. So that's the easy, like, even anybody building, starting out or building, just be yourself. Don't don't copy off what somebody else doing. Don't imitate what somebody else doing. Go out there, be yourself. The sound might sound different, but trust me, once people start picking up your sound, that's all that matters. Once they pick up your sound, you're gonna be good.
Definitely. I'm gonna forward this to him right after we get this, right after with this
Definitely.
interview, man.
Even if he could text me, he could hit me. I'm always gonna give advice. Like, long as you sound good to yourself, eventually people gonna have no choice.
Yep. Definitely. I'll send you my number so you can send me your number, and I'll forward it over to him.
Yeah, definitely. I don't mind. That's like probably that's who I am. Like, I'm gonna make sure I don't want people to struggle how I struggle coming up. It was hard for me to get games, and so I'd rather not have I don't want the next generation or the guys that's around me to struggle like I struggled. It was hard getting in them doors. So
yeah, my guy Tucson said that. Like, again, my guy, he runs the All Ball podcast. He's from Harlem native, Harlem born, and I was just kicking it with him, just and other people, but he was the one that gave me the insight. Like, yo, trust me, Pooh. I watched this guy come up. I watched him. People, not even give him a hard time, but your struggles in between that time.
yeah,
What was that like for you? And do you look back and reflect on that?
that's my motivation. Always, I get up. Like, I be humble, but like, people that know me or been around me, that it's hard. Like, you look around, you got Dutango and them at one park. It's hard to even get games nowhere at that time. Dutango was still shaking and baking. AG will come out every now and then, and them guys was like them guys. Like, so I'm like, how can I get in the door? Like, and it was about getting in the door for me. Like, once I get in the door, and I knew I wasn't gonna get in the door with Unlimited. Unlimited was like gone, like, because Unlimited was like the peak, like, like everybody was in Unlimited. Like, you had the pros coming back, like you had Ron Artest and them playing like on just day-to-day basis in them summer tournaments.
Facts.
So I said, like, I told myself, me and my partner, I said, yo, I ain't gonna never get no Unlimited game. And high school was around, but it wasn't around. So me and Mousy got together. Me, Mousy, my partner Ike, Sheik, one of my other. We had like a small group, and we was like, "Yo, we gonna do high school, and we gonna do high school." And you gotta say, nobody got high school. It's definitely in Harlem, in the 5 boroughs. Really, I think Dyckman had it. Honeycomb, Rucker, but that wasn't like, that was a small scale. We wanted to go like, all right, we're gonna do this. We want to shake the town. We want to bring all the sponsors down the level. Now you see now that every park has both. They didn't have that then. It was just only Tri-State. Dyckman had it. it wasn't on the upscale. It was, but Dyckman had it, Honeycomb Rucker, and probably that's it. I don't remember. I mean, Amsterdam Projects, but not on that bigger scale where the cameras and stuff is out every day. So
Got you.
that was my niche. I knew I went for my niche. I didn't go for like what I think might work. I went like, yo, this, I'm gonna go high school. Mousy said, yo, we're gonna do high school next year. I was like, yo, I think that's gonna be it. And I think we went with that niche and it worked. So that's what kind of that's why I'm kind of like, I was trending kind of early because I jumped into another lane. I left the unlimited alone. I couldn't get close to it. So the OGs, I have the unlimited, and who had a high school? It was only me that had high school. So that's kind of how it happened to work that way. I didn't want to cheat, so I was like, nah, I can't go out the back door. Like Jose used to be at Tri-State. So in order to get games, he'll leave second half. What kind of, I thought it wasn't cool, but now I look at it, probably the best thing that happened for me. Like he'll leave like halftime, he get ready to get out of here, it's 9-something, and I'll finish the second half. That would kind of help me. I did a couple games like that, and then following year I went to high school, and it was gone. I was gone. It was over after that.
Man, that's so dope. I think it's important for youngsters to hear this, because a lot of times, people give up when things ain't going their way, right? And they don't think about blazing their own trail because they see what everybody else doing to get hot.
I didn't really eat for 3-4 years. I probably ain't eat started like 2013, 25. I probably ain't eat till about 2017, maybe. Like really eat, like bring something home. It's about 3-4 years. And but it was good though, like the people I shared meals with, those are the people I kind of stood around the grind with. So we should know I wasn't getting big checks. I was getting $20, $30 a game. Sometimes it's able to just feed me with food. I take it and I feed my partners. And I just knew it was going to be a grind, and I was with the grind. I knew I was talented, and I was around it. My son played ball, so I was around the youth. I still had the youth in me, so it was easy to pick up the language for the kids. They call it lingo, but just picking up their style, and it was easy to pick it up because my kid played ball, and I was around him, so it was easy to pick up the terminology, the different stuff the kids love, and that's why it built that way. But yeah, it was like brutal. Like anybody that really saw me do games, it was like real rough for me. Real rough. In a good way though. It was a learning experience too. I had to learn. This is how I'm gonna get my foot in the door. I gotta go this route. And now everybody do high school. And everybody want to be a part of high school. So that was the trend. The only thing good with the OGs, they didn't go down to high school. Through Tango and they ain't going down. So that kind of gave me the ground because they're not coming down. They was with the hitters. They was with the heavy hitters around the world. And I was like, yo, the only way I'm gonna get on and be really effective if I go this route. And I took the chance. Everything was a chance, and I just ran with it.
Man, and you are definitely running with it, man. I go to some games and I see Cha-Ching and a lot of announcers, and it's not knocking them, because you put in a lot of work, but from the slang, from the lingo, for some of the lingo, and definitely from your classic walk, because the way you hold the microphone, bro, I watch everything, and the way you glide up and down the court, man, is definitely your own unique style and how you carry yourself.
Yeah, I just worked on it. I worked on image. That's why I never had tattoos. I worked on image. I worked on being professional. I just ran with it. Like, it's really no, like, people like how it happened to flow. It just ran with it. Like, it was a flow. I got caught fire. Me and we didn't have no DJ. So me and Spicy, Talk Spicy, everybody know him as.
Yes.
He would do the music off the iPhone. So like it's an iPhone. You know, go in the App Store and you download iPhone mixer.
Right.
So the mixer pop up on your phone like the mixer board, like the DJs, and you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell, man. Like I thank him all the time because you couldn't tell that like he was doing it from a aux cord. You couldn't tell. So we have that in the mic, and that's what we had for 2-3 years. And you know, Jaden taking turns. He was still high school playing and doing the mic. It was like hand in hand, like the way he was mixing the games. People thought like people would walk in like, oh, who's the DJ? And we'd be at the table like it's no DJ. So we ain't like Mousy really ain't have to get a DJ for like another 4 or 5 years. We used the mixer board. And that was the grind. Like even for Jaden, that was the grind. That was like a part of our introduction. Like long as he had the mixer board, I had the mic, and we kind of like we did that like for so many years, and it just worked.
Man, salute to Jaden, man. House of Hoops, man. Salute to him, man. I saw him at South Shore Nike event, man.
Definitely.
Salute to him. Definitely another hard worker.
I think I would have probably shut it down if it wasn't him. He a few years younger than me, but he helped me. Like they brought him on board for like some of the Nike stuff, and it's like it worked hand in hand. I don't gotta over yell. I don't gotta do too much. He covers ground for me, and he does like what he do lineups and whatever he does is like perfect for me. It goes side to side. It's like we're not bumping heads, so. Definitely, yeah. Like I always tell them, like you gave me 2-3 more years because it's hard to do, let alone do a game. And then, like say you got sponsors, you got to shout the sponsors out. Like it's hard to do that. All game sponsors announcing the game. It's a lot of work. So it was good to have him on board with that. And then we just came up with the Splash Bros. It's kind of like everything's like just like it's like I said, everything just flowed. We didn't do no shortcuts. Everything just flowed for us.
And I'm glad you brought that up because, some guys would just want all the shine for themselves. They want to cover all the ground by themselves, and they don't look to share the spotlight anywhere, shape, or form. And I see you guys doing it well, every time I see you guys. So that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, coming in, I wanted to open up doors. Like I wanted to say, I didn't want nobody to struggle. I struggled. So Jaden getting his just due, the other announcers getting their just due. I made sure I tell people go get what you worth. These companies come in, they'll use you. You're only good as the last event. So get what you're worth. Whether you charge 100, 200, 300, 50, 60, whatever you charge, you comfortable with what you charge. You comfortable with your performance. That's all I wanted the new school and everybody else to know, because what I went through, I can't see another announcer going through it. Like that is like, it's enough to be like, nah, I ain't doing this no more. Waiting around. Like I used to have events. My second event in New York City was at 9 a.m. Somebody's at them hours.
Facts. Woo!
All you hear is sneakers hitting the floor and coffee. Smell of coffee. So,
That's real.
That's the best knowledge that's the best real of me to tell somebody, yo. I'll just make sure nobody struggle. It was about struggle. Like many a nights I got an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, like they don't understand that. Like, I had to work a regular job to grind, and it's just paying off now, that's all God. Everything that's happening now is God for me.
I think too, when you're doing it from the heart, you're doing it for the love, right? And you keep putting it in, and you start to love what you're doing. The fruits of the labor will come later. A lot of people give up early when things are not going their way, or it's not coming in the way they think it should come in.
It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to. Like It's man, what's up? It's man stuff I was supposed to have done for my brand, and it comes when it comes. Like LLC came late. Trademark and some stuff came late. Everything come late. It just how hungry are you? Because you notice, right? Everybody want to emulate what we doing in New York City. So
Yep.
you dudes in Boston, dudes that in it, not just just pointing out any state, but nobody was ever doing that.
Facts.
Now they
Facts.
know that's a part of any culture. A host and a DJ is a part of the culture. So you normally you go somewhere, the announcers don't be announcers there. It just be music, and it don't like you could go out of town and be like right away like, oh nah, they need somebody on the table. Like we going to coach and we going to chill. First thing we see is like, oh, they don't got no hosts. This gym full like this, and you think like that. Anyway,
Nah.
like notice when you go somewhere, first thing you look like, they don't got no hosts, they don't got no DJs. Yeah, I ain't gonna stay here too long. We kind of
That's real.
made that narrative like you gotta have that. It's a plus. Any state, it's a plus.
Look, man, New York City, we done broke so many grounds in so many areas that when I first started the show and I was looking at all the different podcasts I was out, different IG shows that was out, it was shocking to me that no one was covering New York City basketball history.
Nah.
Like it was, I was baffled by it because my two best friends were trying to get me to do this 5-6 years ago, long time ago. And I just was like, nah. I just thought, like, man, there's probably a lot of people doing it. I didn't know. I didn't even bother to check. And then another one of my friends hit me up. He worked for NBC. Like, yo, Pooh, you ever thought about, starting a basketball show? You at all the high school games, all of your guys are coaches. And I was like, are you talking to Hawk and Stem? He was like, nah. But I just didn't know it was whether going to be calling all my connects all over the country. But then
it's always like that.
I saw Lamar Odom on Drink Champs. This when it all kicked in for me. The Lamar episode on Drink Champs, which I love. Salute to Drink Champs and everything they're doing. I saw Lamar on there and I said, New York City players need a safe place to go to so they can feel comfortable and tell their story. And we're going to make this kind of like the Drink Champs of NYC basketball.
But how did you think you should have started your shows years ago, or you found with the way it's flowing now? Because sometimes we be like, damn, I burned 4 years. I could have been jumped on this already.
True, but I was fighting the thing of being in front of the camera.
Oh,
like I wasn't a social media guy. Yeah, I started Basketballhead 2 years ago.
Yeah, but just imagine if your partner it was 3 years before that. So you saying you don't know, you could have been you could have been something like the Drink Champs or something. You know what Mousy told me 3 years ago? He told me, he said, yo, you should do that stuff over the voiceovers and stuff. This before filleting them. Nobody. I was like, nah. A year later, shit went skyrocket. I said, what the fuck? I was mad at myself. I wasn't mad at myself, but I brushed Mousy off so fast. I ain't really considering. I was like, nah, I ain't got time for all that. I've been yelling all summer. So now you see me now covering ground because kids, I give it the outside, like I'm giving it the outside flow on IG when I do my videos. Other guys do the comedy and stuff like that. So I would never cross into their world. I would just I'm doing it my way because this is what people, I get on there, crack a joke every now and then. But like what filleting them do, I would never cross their lane because I respect they grind. And coming from a person that kind of know we all around the same circle, for me, that's like stealing.
Oh, listen, I
So
definitely. I'm from the hip hop world. Definitely get it. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like,
that's why I was like, you know what? Now that when people see me on IG, they be like, yo, keep doing it. No, it's for the kids, really. I've tagged a lot of kids, they show love, but that's the furthest I'm going. Like, if a brand wants something else, I have to do it my way. Like, I don't want to convert over to what Filet and them do. I respect they grind too much to jump over like, well, doing games and trying to be funny. And no, I'm gonna call a game. I'm gonna say operate. I'm gonna say Cha-Ching, different slogans, and that's about it. And I built it from that. But I would never cross into their lane because I know the work I put in to get there. And I can imagine with the work them guys, even all the other guys, the social media guys, the gurus been doing. I don't want to. I just feel less like a copycat if I did it that way. So. But Mousy definitely like you said, your people told you. Mousy told me that like I would say 3-4 years ago, before anybody said, yo, you should do the voiceovers. Yo, that joint to be dope. And I just brushed. It was a quick brush off too. I was like, Mousy, I ain't got time for that. And now you look like everybody have phones now. Like I'd be like, dang, oh gosh. But I don't cry. But I'm like, damn, I could have jumped on that. That'd have had that lane too. But like you say, that's God. God puts you 5 years later. They put you 5 years later. If God wanted us to attack that goal earlier, they'd have had it. But just like you brush your peoples off so fast, you didn't even give them a chance. You didn't even hear them say, "Listen, yo, listen out, listen, hear me out." You was like, "Nah, you already said, nah, I'm good on that." But now you're like 3 years later, like, oh, he making sense.
my sentiments. I don't believe in like thinking what happened back then because you can't change it. I
Yeah,
think when it happened, it's supposed to happen. I don't think all the things that I'm doing now would definitely probably wouldn't happen like it did back then, right? 2 years, I'm like over maybe 350 shows in. I got shows that I haven't even put up yet, right? And it just pushes the work ethic a little bit more,
yeah.
right?
That,
I think sometimes we get too lax, and I think with this time and space that we had, and for another moment for me was like when Dave Edwards, my guy Mo Kirby, Chris Brooks, Lee Green, and all these people passed away
yeah.
who never got
That
a
kind
chance
of
to
they
tell
kind
their
of locked
story.
you in. They had you lock in. That's what I said. It's good. That's the plus, right? You waited till the time was right for you. But just imagine if we'd have kind of listened to our peers or listened to them, you'd have had probably 600 shows by now. But that just part of the grind. Like, and that's what I said earlier. You can't cheat the grind. The grind, you got to go step by step like basketball. You learn how to dribble first. And you put it through your legs first. So it's like you cannot cheat that system. Like you cannot go around that way, that grind. And look, you say 300 in, and that's in 2 years. Just imagine you were to start 3 years ago. You'd be 500 in, you'd be having 9, 10 sponsors, but it working good for you now. So like
Yeah,
you said,
I think all of that in due time.
yeah.
I've been an educator over 22 years, and doing that and coaching. So, but it right now I feel my comfort zone. Right, you got to be comfortable with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Even from my intros, and then my show intro, I think all of those things. Just came at the right moments, watching somebody else doing their show, just trying to add a little something different and make it a little bit more genuine.
You supposed to study though. In what world you ain't studying?
Oh, for
Study for
sure.
tests. You study for
Facts.
like if you ain't looking at somebody else and it's not motivating you, you're in the wrong business. I don't care if you was tying sneakers for a living. If I ain't watching John over there tie sneakers, or he did it like that, and I go back home, now I gotta add another twist to that. If we don't do that, then you'll be doing the grind is no grind. Like it's not hard to look at something else and like this the motivation. I see how he did it. Look how he leaning in the chair. Look how he up. Like all that's the same thing for me. Like I look at other announcers and I say, all right, I motivate myself, or they can't get one up on me today. It's just personal motivation. It ain't no motivation for hate. It's just motivation like, oh, listen, he good today. I go back, I gotta get better tonight. And it was all
Nah,
about better each day, each day, each day, each day, to where it's like a off day for me is not an off day for somebody watching me. So that just my motivation. That's just how I grind, and it's been working. And I am who I am today.
nah, that's real. And the guys who I want to say kind of motivated me was my guy Ron Sufrant from A Game, and my guy Cal Griffin over at All Things Hoops.
Yeah,
And then what they did for me, they gave me their number so I could ask them some questions and things of that nature. And we just opened up to each other and became a brotherhood. You know,
the funny thing, right? All Things Hoops, right? Walked up to me. I was doing the game down at the Mellow Gym. It was quick. I was like, I was doing the game. I didn't really have too much time, but he's like, yo, I wanna start covering games. How I do it. And he'll tell you, I said, be yourself. And now he 4 years in. He covering about every college game when needed, but it's like just be yourself. And I ain't give him no blueprint. It was no blueprint. I ain't give him. I said, yo, be yourself. That was 4 or 5 years ago. I think probably a little longer than that. Cause
yeah,
Melo,
he been doing it for a minute.
yeah,
Yeah,
he had been it for a minute, but like he's like, I'm trying to do. I said, yo, be yourself. I ain't really have time to really chop it up with him, but I just saw him be himself, and look at him now. Like he said, y'all want to do this covering the games. He said, yo, what you think I should do? I said, be yourself. That's the best way for any grind. Like even for announcers, one of the hardest jobs to do during a basketball game. Be yourself, because you don't want to sound like nobody. You don't want to walk in the park and they don't know who's calling the game. Like voice right away, like, wow, this is such and such. Like you hear Duke Dango, you hear like all of them had personal slogans. So the moment you hear that, you already know, oh, that's Booby, that's Dutango, that's Hannibal. You be like right away. You should like you want to have me come in the park and go, and I'm saying boy, that would be disrespectful. That's disrespectful for me. Man worked so hard to work on his craft, and I come along and just use his same thing like the other ones got slogans. Yeah, baby. Dutango got his own slogan from the ESPN run he had. It'd be hard for me. He walk in the park and I'm saying stuff. He'd be like, "What?" Like it's kind of like disrespectful. So that's why I said tell people work on your craft. Craft is important. It's been very important. Even on podcasts, anything you do, be yourself but you still have to work on it. Like you just can't go in there. Well, I'm gonna use all Cha-Ching lines today and get by. I can't get by like that. No,
facts.
I wouldn't go to a tournament emulating nobody else because you're never gonna get better. You're just gonna be considered a copycat. So that's part of the grind. And I think while Dutango and them really, they was really kind of like rocking with me because they'll never hear me saying anything that they say. Emulate. I want sound like them. I want walk like them. I want talk like them. So that's how it's like just like DJs is a fraternity. Podcast hosts, they're a fraternity. Announcers is like a fraternity. You don't want to be sounding like that guy next to you or the guy behind you. I mean, you definitely don't. And like Boopy, all of them had their own style. Like you could put all of us in the same room and have us read off a one-liner. None of us are gonna sound the same. Everybody's gonna sound different. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna just do it this way. Where don't be like nobody else. Go grind. Go get it out the mud. So that's why people are like, oh, he got it out the mud. Like all these events I get now, they kind of gotta check in first. And then, like I'm busy or I can't do it. Sometimes I turn events down for whatever my reasons are. I turn it down to give the other guys opportunities too. Because if I do everything, who wants to hear Cha-Ching 7 days a week at 6 tournaments? Nobody wants to hear that. I mean, nobody want to hear it. So how I'm gonna do that? I gotta limit. I gotta cut down tournaments. I gotta, sometimes it's hard to cut down tournaments because I think in New York City as a whole, but you gotta cut down tournaments. You gotta. I'm gonna just put myself here. That's why I kind of place myself at Dyckman, and that's kind of like a foundation for me. And then events. I do events. I get events, but like you try to want to put yourself at, because nobody wants to hear Cha-Ching at Watson, Dyckman, Hoops in the Sun. So now they could go, I don't want to, well, I ain't got to go up there today. I can hear Cha-Ching Saturday. I can hear Cha-Ching Sunday. I don't got to go Tuesday. So if I'm at this one tournament, well, if I want to hear Cha-Ching, I got to go to this one event. He's not going to be everywhere else. And that was just my thought process of grinding.
Nah, that's definitely some jewels right there, brother. Definitely some jewels right there. This podcast, everybody got a podcast, and it's like, how do you make yourself different? What slogans and words do you use that on every show that makes you different from everybody else? So I definitely get what you're doing, man. It's definitely gonna take notes on that for sure.
Definitely, man. I like being I'm like getting on the old head podcast. Like, just to even be mentioned, even when he mentioned me with the OGs, I was like, I mean, I always knew I was like good, and because where we from, like I'm from them blocks where I'm like, I'm the big dog, and I always like that, not being cocky, walking up like, I'll be telling myself like, yo, I'm really that dude. But just to hear it from dudes that, these dudes been around.
Right.
Gumby, what, 19? He been around, what, 60s, 70s?
Facts.
Booby and them 70s, 80s, 90s. Like a lot, Booby and them like three, four decades in.
That's real.
80s, 90s, 1000s. They still go out there and shake and bake every now and then. About 4 decades worth of, just to be able to be like, dang, all right, well, they mentioning them guys and say Cha-Ching, and I only been going like 11 years, 12. I kind of don't count COVID. We ain't have nothing for 2 years, but them guys been around consistently 4 decades at least. Do Tango, Hannibal. Remember they was doing ESPN. I really felt when Booby Smooth, I seen Booby Smooth on ESPN for like a week straight on one of those morning shows. It's something like First Take, but it was another name back then. Forgot the name of it, but he was on those shows. Like I was like, oh, this is what it's like. Remember they was doing Hannibal got his run with ESPN, did the Elite 24. Them guys like Dutango been on ESPN about 20 years. Well, and one.
Facts.
And these guys like you like, damn, if I put the work in, you could be just to even be in a conversation with them guys. Those guys, like, I feel I'm the guy. But those guys, you could never I can never they ain't do too much. Them kids, they did a lot for New York City basketball. They took that stuff around the country. Remember, people wasn't getting booked to go overseas. Now you see they bringing New York announcers in different places where we had never been. Remember, it was just all based off New York. And to watch them guys, it just to even be, for him to even mention my name with them guys, it's like, oh gosh, they paying attention. I am covering some ground, but those them guys, I would never get on anybody podcast or anybody platform and like, well, it was only me. No, I couldn't do that. But them guys, they really put a lot of work in. They put a lot of work in. Like you said, they were saying years they didn't get one coin.
Facts.
you know, they was making money off the deals they was getting from outside the parks. So I said, I want to change the narrative so where the guys is getting paid from inside the parks. Remember, back then, if you wasn't doing it for free, you wasn't getting the game. Definitely, you wasn't. You couldn't go to a park and like, oh, I need such and such. They be like, what? Like, my best announcer don't even charge $1. So it's like, why you charging? So now I kind of put the narrative like, well, you got to kind of pay these guys, man. Dudes is out here in the sun. I told you, go get paid. But back then, it wasn't about getting paid. It was about branding yourself to get paid. Now it's like, well, you got to kind of get paid, then brand yourself. So it's like opposite now. But without them guys, I don't get any games. And now I kind of like tell people like, you know, it's about build your brand, man. Everybody work on what you can control, and then like everything come. Everything like the guy that's doing your event. If he just do your event, when everything builds for him, he be like, yo, this is home. People got to come check me here. And then he get the following. That will bring more followers into the park or into the venue. They'll be like, oh, he's over here? Well, I'm going to go watch Mike over there. Remember, we used to walk down the steps to see Rucker games.
Facts.
Like, there was no way. We couldn't go to my park or up the block to watch. We had to go down the steps to go to a Rucker game to watch them guys. I mean, you know, we was going to watch the game, but them guys were still there entertaining. And they was doing it for free. I just want to switch the narrative because a lot of sponsors, you know, jump in and stuff like that. I kind of know behind the scenes stuff. Well, pay a man what he worth. Trust me, if them announcers was here now, it'd have probably been them announcers, me, and maybe one more announcer. Because they was covering all the ground around New York City. They had lower east side. Some of them had, you know, Whitcomb had the east side. He had Kingdom running all the way up. Remember, some of them dudes was doing Kingdom and Rucker. So that's 2 tournaments out the way. It's like, it was just hard, man. It was just hard, but that's the grind. You learn, you get better, you grind. That's all it is. Like, that's just grind, man. Be yourself and grind.
Nah, that's real, man. And speaking of Kingdom, Brevoort is a bigger Kingdom.
That's what I'm saying.
Right smack in the P's. So that whole thing, and it was tradition that goes back to 73. So while Rucker had the Pro-Am tournament that they was doing up in the Rucker, Brevoort had a school tournament.
That's what I'm saying.
Like a 30-year gap because the park was so decimated. And then through the show, got the park fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So all of these blessings started to come, and, you know, the natural evolution took place.
That's why you ask anybody, like, we don't know who Gumby is, but you always got to add the originator.
Fact.
He got to be in anybody's top 5. It depends what era you're in. You know, now these kids, they don't know about the era. But dudes that kind of came up the right way, know the era, somebody going to say, oh, Gumby got to be in anybody's top 3, top 5. Because he started this where it was like, you know, announcers wasn't really that main stage. And he was around. So people going to say Gumby. Like me, I didn't see Gumby era, so I can't just toss him in the top 5. But dude, like, you know, Booby and them, if they saw him physically, they could say, yo, he was one of them guys. Just like even now, like if you saw Booby and them, you got to throw them in your top 5. They changed too much. They changed the game for like 20 years. Like for almost 2 decades, Booby Smooth was probably the best dude to host a game around the world.
Wow.
For at least well over 13 years, 14 years straight. Even on bad days. Even Joe Poe, these dudes is having 10-year runs. 12-year run straight before they say they starting to compare you to somebody else. Remember, Gumby probably had to run from what 70s to when 90 before they say Gumby.
Right,
That's what I'm saying. Like before they even say somebody is close to Gumby. Like if you ask them guys, they're like, if you like, yeah, Gumby wasn't better than me, they'll look at you like you got 4 heads. He probably cleared at least 15 years to 17 years being the best announcer, the host.
man.
When you look at it like that, you're like, dang, you're right. Isn't like we can't not. He like them dudes carved so much space between 90s and 2000s. Like what Duke Tango did for 10 years on a street ball level around the world. Video games, like touring Japan and all that. People wasn't going that way nowhere for that. Like, so it's always history. I'm always, long as I'm a part of the history, that's good for me.
Nah,
Really.
and you giving people a history lesson right now, and just bringing up those dudes who made a difference. I want to give a shout out to my guy Todd Rivero. I think he's the nephew of of my guy Nutter Butter, Paul Scurry from the Scurry family. Snoop
Definitely.
always on the check-in. Eric Weaver still in the building. Go TV in the building. My guy Mark Petit and Hoop Dreams NYC. And I know my guy Derek Chivas, the Band-Aid man, he's on the check-in as always.
Definitely, man. I'm like I said, I'm just happy to be here. Like this is normally, I really don't really do the podcast things, but just when people want to, I always like to tell a story, tell my story, because my story is like different from how other people got on, and I just want to, if it might not touch somebody this week or next week, but just be yourself. I continue to be myself. I'm gonna wake up every day, grind, be myself. Like even all the voice, so anything I do, I just try to be David Teele better.
Right. So this brings me to this point. Were you the first one to wear the different costumes?
Yeah, but Hannibal used to have the belt with the robe.
Got you.
So that I guess you could say it's a costume, but I like physically put costumes on. I think I might be the only one. It's like you can't duplicate. Like I couldn't put a robe on in a belt, right? But what people gonna say? It's Hannibal joint. You can't.
Facts.
So me and my partner, people like, yo, you gotta kind of. So like one of my first lines was like operate. Like operate was like probably my biggest catchphrase I had for like 2 years. Now 1 year I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna do a costume. He like, yo, man, you might as well.
Yeah.
Yes, when I put the doctor on. So everything kind of go like I had the doctor. So now like when you see me put costumes on, I put guys that any costume I put on is people that's like real good in they field of work. Like Black Panther, Michael Jackson, probably one of the top ones in his field. The Prince, Tina Turner, like anybody any costume I do, it has to be somebody in their field of work. So if I do wrestlers, Hulk Hogan, when you look, Hulk Hogan is probably the top 5 best wrestler all time.
Facts.
So it's like that was my behind the scene of when how I pick out a costume.
See, 'cause for me, and I've seen a lot of these guys, that you mentioned, man, up in Harlem do their thing and around the city. But when you take on those different personas, I think that's what kind of separates you from the pack, and when I would see it, I would just think, I'm just saying to myself, like, because people don't understand, you're actually an entertainer.
Yeah.
Right? This is still part of entertainment. And it takes balls, it takes guts, and it takes heart to do those things and put yourself in those different perspectives. So, man.
I think Like it was costumes I put on. I'm like, dang, this one ain't gonna hit. I go out there and just go.
Which
And
one?
then
Which one you thought was that part you did?
like I put on the Tina Turner one time, and people said, nah, you can't do that. Like you can't do that. And I was like, I love it. And I went out and put it on. I like any costume I put on, I put it on. I would ask like, yo, you think this one good? They're like, nah, I ain't really feeling it. And I was like, nah, I'm doing it because I'm gonna do something that at least when people see, they're like, oh, well, I'm trying to entertain. I'm trying to do entertain. I'm trying to host. I'm trying to do
Facts.
5, 3, 6 things at once. But like, people started looking forward to costumes. So now I try to do like one costume every year, at least one costume every year to get people like, all right, he's still gonna do costumes. One year I didn't do no costumes. My manager was like, yo, get back to Cha-Ching, get back to the grind, get back to the. So one year I didn't do no costumes, and this year I did like 2 costumes, Black Panther, and I did another costume. But every year I was trying to do each year like books and ball was like our all American event. So we'd do books and ball, and I'd bring out a costume. I did Undertaker. I did like tons of like costumes, but that was like my alter ego. Like I get dressed, halftime, come out, dress before the game, and it's like my alter ego. But it worked for me. Like once I picked that, added that element, I always say, yeah, I kind of separated myself, but them guys is who they are.
Yeah, bro. In the New York versus New York tournament, when you came out in the full Black Panther suit, I was just like, nah, he's killing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like just from the outside looking in.
Yeah,
Like,
that came about. I was just like, when I kept seeing one of my coworkers at work, he big on Marvel movie. He like a Marvel movie junkie.
I have one at my job too.
So he'll just be like, yo, Dave, yo, you heard about this joint? And our computers next to each other. I look over, I'll be like, he's like, yeah, this joint about to drop. So he a big Marvel junkie. So he happened to show me the part 2 of Black Panther. I said, oh, all right. You know what? I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do the first Black Panther. And that's how that came about. And then, like I hit one of my good managers, Sadat, and he's like, yo, you don't gotta spend money on costumes. We'll throw that in the budget. So now I'm like, sometimes he'll give me a costume. He'll throw you like, yo, the one that wore at New York versus New York for Giannis, he gave me that costume.
wow.
But I was upset because I wanted the pants. And like the full pant. Like I didn't
Right.
want to get in full gear. Like I used to spend like the Hulk Hogan boots. I like to wear what they physically wear. And then like I didn't want to come out. He's like, yo, you gotta wear it and come out. Cause I was like, dang, I'm not doing it right, but it actually turned out to be good. But that's how if they wear a hat, I want the hat. I want the wig. I want the tights. I want the boots. It costs 100, 200, but it be worth it because I wanted to feel like back in the days, our costumes we used to wear that with regular sneakers.
Right.
Now, I mean, our parents wasn't going to buy no Hulk Hogan boots on. Boy,
Facts.
you don't just go outside with that daggone mask and that little. So now I want to take it to the next level. Like I need the full fit. It has to be the full fit or it don't work. But that's how I was like able to come up with fits. And now like I would spend $150 shipping like random stuff like Tina Turner. I'm going to get stockings. I'm like, yo, is this even gonna work? And my son be like, yo, you bugging wearing that. But I'm like, nah, it's for the people. The people want it. So that's why I do it and I continue to do those things.
Nah, brother. You just creating to your legacy. That's all you're doing. Just creating to your legacy.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna keep you on here too long. I have one more question that I'm gonna go to one of the questions from the audience members, and then we get into the top 5, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
All right. Now, do you look at the rosters before the game?
50-50.
Let's get into that because I think this is important too, right? Because I see a lot of people doing it. Yes.
Yeah, it depends on the game. It depends on the game. Like the New York versus New York event is kind of like you kind of know what guys probably gonna show up prior to the day. But I don't read off the paper because that's like sitting in front of a test and all the answers. I glance at it because if I don't give you a name itself, at least I want to respect you enough to call you your first name. I don't want to call any basketball player number 8 or number 9 or number 10. That's like disrespectful. They got their family here. So I would never do that. If I didn't know somebody, I would go glance at the paper, leave the paper down, and go back. But all that's like stored knowledge. I probably seen all these kids play a lot of times, and like it's just stored memory. It's stored memory. Or if like I don't know, something spicy might whisper in my ear, yo, that kid went to boom, boom, boom. But you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell because I would just go out there, and half the time I know what school they went to, what their numbers was, and I would shout them out, and that was like big for them. But I 50%. I really glance at the paper. The other 50% I kind of freelance.
Why you don't give guys nicknames?
It's hard to earn a nickname, but the least I can do is call you by your first name or your last name. Like I'll be like Mr. Edwards for just bare minimum. I would start with first name, shout your first name out, last name, then I would throw your school in there, then I'd be like AKA and add something else. But nicknames is hard to grab.
Have you ever given anybody a nickname?
Huh?
Ever given anybody a name?
Yeah. Isaiah Briscoe, probably one of my best ones. Must See TV. I think that's probably my best one.
Got you.
Yeah, but that was probably my best. I gave a lot of names. I gave so many. I've been doing it like 10. I gave so many, but some people don't get names. They gotta earn it. It's hard to earn it. You gotta earn it.
Got you. What's the largest crowd you called the game at?
I think Dyckman, my second year. No, yeah, my second year. Joe Poe he wasn't there. So Kenny said, yo, you got to fill in today. I think that game it's probably like 2,200 in there. They probably my biggest crowd. That was, but yeah, that was it, 2,200.
Okay. So I'm gonna give my guy Todd. He actually, this is crazy. He says, ask Cha-Ching was like growing up in the legendary Battlegrounds Park and watching and growing up under the Skull Gang, Twin, Butternut, Black Nissan, Lefty, and many other greats.
Oh yeah, he got to be from the Hill.
He is from the Hill, definitely.
That's why I said like those are like my inspirations, like Lefty, Butternut, Twin. Those is like me for like those is like real legendary guys up there. But to answer your question, you know, it was like just like an all out jungle up there. Like, you know, it's like Skull Gang, Twin got his brand. It kind of like go hand in hand with my brand. And like I would go sit and watch Lefty, Butternut, and all them guys playing parks and go watch them guys. it was like those eras was like those guys was really nice. Like Lefty was nice, Butternut was really nice. Like just to be around them, I was like the young pup. So I was probably 14, and I was like hanging with them guys. But like I didn't think announcing would fall into that bracket. But those guys, like to answer his question, like just he said it the best word, legendary, man. Like them all out brawls we used to have in the park. Even just listening to they good conversations like Lefty played a young Ron Artest. Like I was like, Ron Artest in the league. He's like, yeah, I played him in high school. Like he probably the strongest man he ever had to guard. You know, we a crack joke like, what was score? He's like, man, I just like 32-12. He was like in college. But you know, like when you look at Lefty, you're like Lefty was that guy. But the nothing was them guys. Remember the tournament used to be behind Harlem Hospital?
Yep. Yep.
That was one of the other real legit pro-am tournaments. And you know, I used to go down there with them guys, and them guys was like everything a part of like being top tier. They did everything right. They never like to answer that question. Like, man, there's so many stories with them guys, man. But I'm just happy to see Twin, Lefty, and all them still going after it. And you know, like now that Twin, I'm kind of build my brand around watching his son come up and play. Stuff like that. But yeah, that question right there is tough though. He had to be from the hill to answer.
Oh, he did, because I'm gonna show you some. These are all the things he said. This is at the beginning of the show. All this at the beginning. He said, you took what Joe Pup did at Dyckman all the years before to the high school division, now Pro-Am. Hashtag Sugar Hill. This at the beginning of the show, he said this.
Yeah, he watched the grind, man. Everybody know I'm from Sugar Hill. Everybody knows I didn't cheat. Like I said, I ain't cheat this grind. Like everybody watched me, the older guys, the guys that's probably a couple years older than me, like they watched me not cheat. Like I would go to games, I would sit and not get the game till like 5 minutes left in the day. It's 8, 9 at night, 9:30 at night, and like he got to be from the hill. He's saying
all this, brother. I'm gonna show you another one. You mentioned this at the end of the show. What he said. One of my first names he gave. I didn't even see this to answer this question.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, Isaiah Briscoe told you. Everybody,
you know what I'm saying? So shout out to my God. He's a avid watcher of the show. Salute.
He's a basketball junkie, man. That's
yes. Always at the games, always showing love. You know, appreciate that, brother.
Definitely, man. Those questions. Once I heard, I said, once he named an answer, he got to either be from the hill or he got to have some type of affiliation with the hill. But because he said Butternut and all them guys, those are OGs, man.
Facts. So I attended the South Shore versus Brooklyn Collegiate game, and you know South Shore had a rough start at the beginning of the year. But it looked like they're back in their bag, right? Like Smoke got them guys playing very well. Karan Alexander, Jared Dingle leading the way. And I think what we're going to have a lot of high school guys upset is Coach Smoke is smiling again. So can you say something about Coach Smoke in our South Shore program?
Ooh, yeah, it was looking brutal. It was looking, because you know we do our little weekly do our weekly show, right? And you know, like the coaches is hearing like, oh, we number 2 this week, we number 3 this week. Oh, we got to get up to number 1. Because we wanted to do the platform, me, Randy, Two Clap, Spicy. We wanted to do something like, let's give where the kids could get their input and be giving the kids the feedback. Because you know, PSL don't have that for us.
Right. They
don't want to, maybe they don't want to spend the extra money. I don't know what it is, but so we said, yo, let's try to give something where these kids is gonna come out. But Smoke, he done found his niche. He went in there and beat Jeff.
No,
That was
not Jeff.
He went in Brooklyn Eagle and won in
When
Brooklyn
Brooklyn,
Eagle.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then he went and beat BC by 40, 30 or something like that.
30. It was the 30 piece.
Yeah, he got his powers back.
Yeah.
He
And actually, I think it's a 2 piece, but got smoked 30 today.
You said what?
You know, smoked by 30 today.
He won by 30 today?
No, I said, do you want to know who got smoked by 30 today?
Oh yeah. That's topic one tomorrow. You know, the topic one tomorrow is what's going on the concourse.
Whoa, brother!
You was in there, right?
I was in the building. I'm at these games, brother.
Yeah, one thing real quick though.
Yes.
I like your post game interview. You, Dave, Jay, them post game interviews. Y'all kind of giving the kid, because this is how kids gonna learn how to talk to make money.
That was one of my keys in doing that. Yeah. All this is for them, man.
Yeah. So like from the heart, like salute to y'all. I think Shay does it a lot, but Shay got a different avenue. But y'all 3 guys will sit there and try to interview the play of the game. Boom, 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 boom. But some teams need to work on some things.
Yes, indeed. Brandon Williams played big today. He played big today.
He played big. But what we said on the live last week, we say Brandon Williams got to have a good week.
Yeah.
So he went out to Sierra Canyon and played well.
Yep.
And followed up. Well, I think they beat Bishop Lachlan, but they kind of banged up. They blew Bishop Lachlan out.
Right. Chris Hand is messed up. Yep.
Yeah. So, but they went in Christ the King. They went in Cardinal Hayes, and he looked like everything but 6'8" guard today.
Facts.
And we call a spade a spade. He looked good today.
He did.
So, but even with your post game interviews, people see that like they might like, how can I get me a post game interview? And the same thing when we do the lives on Monday night. Like tomorrow night, we gonna introduce the play of the week. Like, remember, this is stuff we used to look at. Mike Quick used to have the run. Remember Mike Quick? We'll flip on that channel, listen to Mike Quick for 30 minutes. People, that was our guy. Mike Quick was our ESPN.
Yep.
So now that y'all got to do post game, we do the lives, and it just gives the kids like, but Smoke got his powers back. Yeah. Smoke was in trouble for a week.
Yes.
We told Smoke we don't like what's going on, and then he went in there. Then it's hard to beat Brooklyn Collegiate at their crib by that many points.
Yes. Salute to Coach Connor, man. You guys do a great job with your kids, man. But man, it's hard to win in Eagle. It's hard to win in Brooklyn
and those
Collegiate.
2 road wins too.
Yes.
So they possibly move up in the standings. We got a call later on, but I think they might move up in the standings. But yeah, I like
Jeff losing the Eagle at Eagle.
That's what I said. Like, but remember, I got the other slogan: hands and feet, get it done early.
Facts.
So you ain't waiting around, because like you wait around and then you don't want people to be like, well, we only lost by 6 and we missed 12 free throws, and no, you blow them out and you be like, yeah, they was better than us today. It's like really but just for y'all to cover those post game, like, like only post game we getting is on ESPN. If somebody get an ESPN interview, but for you, Dave, Jay, Shay Bouncer does it every now and then, and I see you tapping into these schools. I say, oh, he over there? But, like we taking our time to do this because we want to see everybody win.
Yep. And now, we're going to take it a step further, like, have the camera go out there with the microphone and make this right for them, because, look, we can't call ourselves the Mecca if we're not treating our own city like it's the Mecca.
Got to take care of it. Like me and Spicy and the DJ Zookeeper, we got 3 stops. We got one in January, one January, I think 5th or 7th is the rivalry, the rematch. Orange Wave versus South Shore. And people that know what happened game 1, this one is a little personal.
Oh, I'm definitely in the building for that one for sure.
Yeah. And
sure.
we got Wings. No, we got Eagle Bronx Monroe, January 19th.
I'm uptown.
And then we got we're doing something different. We got a showcase pop-up shop. I hope the team is available for it, but that's on January 28th, a Saturday. And we do like 3 stops. It depends how it builds up. If we happen to grab a good sponsor along, we'll do like 1 or 2 more stops. But I think those 3 stops, this was needed for the kids though, man. This is all for them. Even when I do games on, like I said, I do it on IG. I could just sit back and watch the game, but I still give a little play-by-play feel. But what y'all doing for them kids, man, those post-game interviews, like they have to learn how to do interviews.
Facts.
And the way to learn is if you to play. And it's not like y'all grabbing the main guys all the time. Y'all grab the guy that was attractive today. Yo, come on, I got a post-game interview with you. You're not going to grab Brandon Williams every game.
Facts.
Even though he's probably the best player that shows up all the time.
I got the coach today. I didn't even want to get him today. I said, what, I'm just going to get the coach today.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying?
Because it helps everybody platform. Like, I saw you doing that. I saw Dave. I saw Jay. I saw Shay. Like, it's like the best thing for those kids. Remember, you got to understand, we missed the COVID year. We trying to get back on our feet. But for that, like, that was bad today. But Smoke definitely got his powers back. Got his powers back.
Yo, brother, it's enough of us, right? Because I think a lot of times this where our melanated people come up short, right? Because a lot of us don't like the Voltron because everybody got their own space. It's enough of us doing so many different things to cover what we need to cover. I look at the way the Catholic schoolers ran compared to what how the PSLs ran. You know, my guy is Coach Ray Nash. He's president, right? And then I got Coach Ray Haskins on this end, right? Yeah. Who are both my guys. But I tell you, there's a difference between how the Catholic schoolers ran compared to the PSAL.
I tell you one thing, right? And I'm for all that. Catholic leagues don't want us in there. They don't want that in there. Like, we go on this tour, we say, yo, we don't want $1. Just give us a cord and like a table and some waters. And some of them guys are like, we get back to you. But when we go to the PSAL, they enjoy it. But it's not, like you said, it's night and day. It's night and day. That Catholic League is like real corporate. And PSAL is real trenches, like real like ghetto. We're going to do it this way. Yeah, we could do this. Like Catholic school want to do this, suit and tie. You got to do this, kind of like. But the other side,
I'll talk to you off here. Trust me, because there's some things that I got my hands on.
It's wiggle room, but they're not giving us the wiggle room. You know, if that makes sense. So
no, I get you. But in any case, like you said, it's a lot of us doing some great things.
Definitely.
And I'm always with that, brother. My ego is not here to be, pushed on somebody else. I'm good as a man and myself, and I know what I can do and what I can bring to the table. For sure. So if it was one thing on your journey you could change, what would it be?
Whoa. One thing on my journey I could change. I'm just probably gonna be the realest answer. I wouldn't change nothing. The grind for me was everything. So I wouldn't change nothing. Love the way I have it now and what I did to get here. So I probably wouldn't change it. Nothing. I wouldn't change nothing.
That's real. That's real. Now it's time for the top five.
Mm. So I guess this is the hot seat time, right?
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure. Top 5 guys for your neighborhood.
For my neighborhood. Lefty, Twin, Ali Mo. I could go a little new era. James and Wani. Wani did some things that I don't think nobody in our area did in a long time though. So I had like 2 old school, and then I had like 3 new school.
No doubt, no doubt. Top 5 tournaments in New York City.
No order, right?
Nah.
Current or all time?
Whatever one you want to go with.
Matter
of fact, let's talk about current.
Current?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Dyckman. Hoops in the Sun. Gersh. LES. What's that? 3-4?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Jesus, yeah, that's the hot seat. Oh gosh. Somebody upset. I'm gonna go with I gave Gersh. Ooh, see, I'm gonna leave somebody out, man. I'm gonna go with my other Brooklyn guy. You had him on the show before. I'm gonna go with my other Brooklyn guy. I can't. Like, it's too much. Like, Kingdom had a great year. Yeah, I'm at 4. I'm at 4, man. The 5th is kind of wiggly for me right now. I'll come back to that.
That's why it's called top 5, not top 4, not top 6. You can't have someone coming off the bench.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Ross Lyman though.
Zone 6?
Zone 6.
Got you. Bed-Stuy in the building.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
No doubt.
That's a hot seat for real though. I know somebody listening, but I think those was probably because you always got to add Brooklyn in there. And
facts.
Ross Slime kind of had me like doing this, like, all right, what's going on over there? But Ross Slime definitely probably one of the quickest one. Tag. Whitehead joint was great this summer.
Yeah, Whitehead joint was dope.
That's why I said like I left him out. He probably had one of the top 3 best summer this summer.
Yeah, he had very good. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I had to pick 5, but yeah, Whitehead definitely he should be like for like the ones that peaked this summer. He definitely one of the tournaments that peaked this summer. That cut because once he got that streaming deal, that's what kind of like pushed him over to like the hump. So, but yeah, well, that's on the hot seat.
Class TV, right?
Yeah. So, like, you know, like sometimes when you stuck at work, those apps mean something. And, you know, like you can watch them. They covered a lot of ground. They definitely, you know, it's just hard to get a deal like a big sponsor like that or a deal network. And, you know, but I see all that. I salute everybody. They definitely was the tournament that peaked this summer, though.
Yeah, they are peaking that Brevoort now, so we'll see what we can work out here.
Okay, yeah, but remember, if you're going through the winter, spring, you got to go through the summer. Unless you always got to have some time for some downtime. But I think if you're going straight through, you got to go straight through the summer.
Nah, we just do summers.
So,
It's outside. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh, that ain't bad.
And I invite you down to check out the atmosphere. Our big events. Definitely our championship game was crazy. It had to be like 1,500 people in the building. It was crazy.
Dang. Well, yeah, inside out.
Fab, outside. Fab came through. All that. Hold on for a sec. Like, and this is where you're from, so it just made sense.
You from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
You
I'm from Brooklyn. Facts.
Okay.
From Brooklyn, from
Threw the
Brevard.
smoke question out there. All right, I got it.
Yeah. I'm from Brooklyn, and I went to Lincoln. I played at Lincoln. Tiny was my point guard. We won the city championship at '86.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. Got to throw the Brooklyn roots in there. All right.
No. It just let me show you some real quick. It was just But we got. I'm gonna definitely get to that top 5. We're gonna go. Okay.
What park is that?
That's Brevard.
Oh yeah. You did have Rod Slime come do that.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
I remember that.
Yes.
All right.
So
I remember that.
Definitely great atmosphere for ball. And look, like that's the park where Bernard King, Fly Williams, all these guys.
I remember when he posted say he was going there, they had to fly out. I ain't know what it was called. Yeah, that was it. That was
when you see all that coming on, that's for my page. All that.
Okay.
All that. Yeah.
Definitely. No, definitely.
All right.
That definitely closed out right though.
Oh yeah. Definitely. So let's get back to high school. Top 5 high school players right now.
Connor. Brandon Williams. Ian Jackson. Boogie Flan. Dang, it's so many. Jesus. I'm gonna go with Reem. Reem was like my undercard. I'm gonna go with Reem.
Who's that?
He go to Wings.
I think I see.
He go to Wings. Yeah, he's undercard. He's undercard guy.
I seen him play. I seen him play at Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always add in a sprinkle of an older guy, but we got enough. I think I'll go with that 5.
Got you. You said Connor first. That was.
Yeah, I like what I like.
Nah, I trust me, bro. He in the backcourt with my little cousin man, so that works.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was gonna say either one of them, but I said I'm gonna go with Connor. Just to sprinkle it out because we can always say Ian Jackson. We always could say Ian. We can always say Brandon Williams, Beasto. We can always say them guys. So I always try to throw another wild card always.
That's why we see eye to eye on a lot of things, brother. I'm telling you, bro. I'm hearing you speak. I'm going.
Yeah. No, I always do that. Like if people ask for 5, I would give some names. They be looking, slipping the page like him. I always give some randoms because them guys like Connor, he showed up all summer.
He's one of the best finishers in the city. Like he finishes in places that you used to be like, did he make that?
Word. So I was like, okay, but yeah, I'll go with that 5. Jaden Williams, go to Hay. I got like so many because I sit around and watch these kids grow up. I could just pick. But I'll get it obvious. People always gonna say them guys they ranked in the city. I'm gonna get it obvious.
And if it's somebody like a kid in high school that you want me to cover or be like, yo, Pooh, you got to go check this kid out. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, definitely. But I always that's the stuff like a part of the branding that everybody got to come together. Like, yo, this kid don't need cover. Like his teams is Murray Bertram. They making noise.
Oh, let me tell you, I was there. They played. They killed Seward Park so bad, and they was doing. I was just like, man, because I watched them play during the championship last year.
So, to give them that coverage is like,
I'll be back. I'm going back to watch them. I'm definitely going back to watch them because I like how they play.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I watched them when they won the chip last year. I saw
Yep.
the chip game. It was in St. Francis.
No.
But
It was a city college.
yeah,
The
but
chip
the
game.
semifinals was in St. Francis.
Got you. Yep.
Yeah. I saw the semifinals. Yup, I saw both.
Yep.
Actually, saw that in the chip. So, but like I said, man, I'm always gonna throw some. Yeah, we definitely could talk offline, man. I always got kids
I'm
that.
gonna see you my number, and we'll kick it to make sure that we're covering the kids
Yeah,
we're gonna be covering.
definitely.
And I also told Coach Ray Nash and we'll talk because there's some other stuff that I want to
Yeah, because
holler at you about.
one thing you don't want to give all your ideas
Oh
away.
no. I don't talk
can't.
to the post. I'll be like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Do that.
All right. Last one. Top 5 players in New York City history
That I seen covering around my time.
Whoever your 5 is. That's the one thing I don't make the rules on that.
Ooh, history.
Hold on. Hold on. This kid is tough. This kid from Forest Hills.
Yes.
Nick Martinez. He's tough.
He don't get off the floor to save his life, but I love him.
He's like 5'6".
Yeah. He don't get off the floor hard, but I love him. We're gonna get to a Forest Hill game though.
No, they good. And the kid Shay John, great athlete.
Yeah. Oh, dang, top 5. Ooh.
See, I was giving you some thing.
Well, I gotta say my son, David Teele, for sure. Like, I ain't gonna leave my son off no list.
All right. Did he played? He played?
No, he played in Jersey, but he's from New York.
Got you.
Yeah. So I'm always gonna say.
Yeah. I went to Fairleigh Dickinson, so definitely no.
Yeah.
Yes. Facts.
I'm always gonna say my son. Dang, old time. Jesus. Isaiah Whitehead.
Lincoln in the house.
Yeah, Chris McCullough.
Woo. Is that part of the Andre McCullough and Jerry McCullough
No, I don't
family?
think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So of course I'm gonna go Kemba. He was New York.
He had 35 off the bench yesterday.
Yeah. Well, that's some dudes belong in the league. Some dudes don't.
Facts.
Some dudes belong in the league. I'm gonna go. I used to like Momo Jones a lot. I used to love Momo Jones.
Remember Momo Jones? People,
yeah.
I think this is why this is so important, because look. I remember him before Kimber. Like, he was the guy.
He was the guy. So Momo Jones definitely. And one more. I ain't gonna lie. Mo Bamba brother was good. Sid was good. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go Isaiah Washington.
Got you.
He kind of changed the game.
You have the most abstract top 5 in basketball history so far. Everybody was different.
My list is way off from somebody else's.
Everybody was different, but yours was the most abstract out of all the 5 that I've heard. Yep.
I'm always going. Momo Jones did some things people don't know. He was Arizona. He did that stuff.
Oh yes.
Iona. Remember, he made it comfortable for people to go to Iona. So I never forget. But I roll with that 5. That 5, I'm comfortable with that 5.
Well, you don't want to say that because you got Steve Burke, right? You got Gary Springer,
of course.
David Canada.
But we be naming for days.
No, we just talking about for Iona.
Give
you some history on that. Yes. Facts.
Definitely.
But listen, man. Look, I want to say this, man. Thank you for coming on the show, man. It's been a great conversation. I'm glad we was able to connect. Because now I have more things that we definitely gonna connect on, man. So
definitely send me a number, and then any information I know the kid might need, just going forward, man. I can help out.
Yeah, and two, the games that that you think, because I can only be one
Yeah, it's
place at
only
a
only
time.
one person, yup.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
I think I'm gonna kind of kick off with that right after the new year. So
Yes,
try to
yes.
give kids to enjoy the rest of the break because I think it's so. Matter of fact, I don't think they got no. Oh, they don't got no basketball games this week.
No, they do. I think I know Christy King plays Saint John or Saint Francis Prep
Oh, St. Francis, okay.
on Tuesday, and what's the name? Nas play. Who they play? Because I just saw
Yeah,
I
G
just
Irvin,
saw
G
G Herb.
Irvin and them shaking things up over there.
Yeah, they crush Lockland a little serious. It's
Yeah, they
crazy.
did. Yeah, it's bad over there, but because they hurt.
Yeah.
That's what they hurt.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
But yeah, brother, I appreciate you, man. I want to say thank you again, and thank you just for the whole New York for what you've been doing and all the joy you've been bringing to New York City and all the games and just your original perspective and your style and how you take your craft so serious. We would definitely want to say you're definitely the top announcer out today, and definitely one of the tops in New York City history, man. So we appreciate you, brother.
Definitely. Just make sure you send me the number. We definitely could chop it up during the week, and help is always needed.
That's right. All right, brother.
Y'all appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
All right.
Peace. Wow. Another great story. See, you never know how your story is going to end if it never begins. Sometimes you got to take a chance. Even when your friends try to convince you that there's something you should be doing, you might ignore them at first. You might think the idea is not too cool to do. But when you take it and you understand that this is your calling, you take it and you run with it. Cha-Ching has been doing that for New York City for over a decade right now. And he's been putting it down in every kind of way, from all the parks and the staple at Dyckman. So if you're ever in New York City, make sure you get down to Dyckman and check out Cha-Ching or any other Nike event, special events that's happening in New York City, because he'd probably be the one on the mic. Bring you that joy and electrifying the crowd. So I want to thank him tonight for coming on. For all my basketball heads, make sure you keep spreading the word. Tell everybody to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the love. We about to be out of here. Like I always said, I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you're watching Basketballheads Live, the podcast on NYC Basketball Network. We are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.